Hi guys, let me take you through the third AP experimental design practice question. So in this question, your first job is to explain why this is an observational study and not an experiment. So bottom line, there is no random assignment to a treatment. There is no random assignment to a treatment. Now, I'll be honest, what I wrote there is not a sufficient answer. This tells me you understand the question. This tells me you understand the concept, but you always write in context. So, for instance, it would be better to say that amongst these 50 people in each of these groups, we are not in one group randomly assigning those people to eat less than one apple a week and then randomly assigning the people in the other group to eat an apple a day. There is no random assignment to treatment, so you could say we're not randomly assigning apple eating behavior here. So it's important to always write in context. So when you write your answers for parts A, B, and C, you want to include the fact that we're dealing with apples, we're dealing with dental hygiene, we're dealing with cavities, we're dealing with patients. It's always important to write in context. So explain the concept of a confounding variable. So first of all, confounding can be thought of as confusing. If you will, it's a variable that's confusing the connection between the explanatory and the response variable. But notice, this is in the context of this study. Include an example. So by that, we're saying be specific. Give a specific example. Write in context, be specific. So being specific means the following. It means when you write an answer, tell a story connected both to apple eating and to dental health or cavities. So tell a story, write a few sentences that's connected to both, I'll just write apple eating, and dental health or cavities. So for instance, you could say, fine, people that eat an apple a day, maybe those are people that are healthier in general, that take care of themselves and would be more likely to brush their teeth anyway, and that's what's leading to fewer cavities or better dental health. But tell a story that connects apple eating to dental health or to cavities. A couple, 3 sentences maximum should be plenty. But it's important that you give a specific example and that you write in context. You should be mentioning apple eating. You should be mentioning dental health or cavities. That's important. So, last question. If the mean number of new cavities for those who ate an apple a day was statistically significantly smaller than the mean number of new cavities for those who ate less than one apple a week, can I conclude that the lower number of new cavities can be attributed to the eating of the apple a day? So in other words, what we're saying here is, does your apple eating behavior, could we say that there's a cause and effect relationship between the apple eating behavior and whether or not you develop new cavities? And the answer is no. But you better explain. So the bottom line, if you are trying to give evidence of a cause and effect relationship, you cannot use an observational study. This is an observational study. A cause and effect relationship between apple eating and a lower number of new cavities could only be suggested by doing an experiment. No, this is not an experiment. My goodness, there are all kinds of confounding variables that might explain the lower number of new cavities. It might have nothing to do with the eating of an apple a day. So the bottom line, though, this is not an experiment. Again, what I've written here would not be enough in the AP context. You should write this in context. So no, this is not an experiment. We didn't randomly assign apple eating behavior to subjects. There could be all kinds of confounding variables, such as the story that we wrote in Part B. It's important to always write your answers in context. What's important to me as I take you through the basic structure of a good answer, though, is that you understand the concepts that we're applying. This isn't an experiment. Or in Part B, be specific, tell a story, write it in context. Or in Part A, random assignment to treatments is what's required for an experiment. These are the concepts that we've studied, but you would always want to write a good answer in the context of the question.